जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना। यशोदानंदना व्रज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना। यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jai Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jai Gaura Nitai. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitai God Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotra Sata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Labai Charana Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotra Sata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की, ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप श्री मायापुर धाम की जय, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथ पुरी धाम की जय, गंगा माँ यमुना माँ की जय, वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय, श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसलेशनल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जाए, द मोस्ट मर्सिबल लॉर्डशिप श्री श्री गौनिताय की जाए, द मोस्ट मर्सिबल लॉर्डशिप श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन जी की जाए, द मोस्ट मर्सिबल लॉर्डशिप श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र महारानी की जाए, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जाए, सामवेद घोर भक्त वृंद की जाए, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What's on the board? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 14, Chapter 24, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva, text number 13. Prachina Barhishaputra Satadrutyam Dashabhavam Satadrutyam Dashabhavan Tulyanama Vrita Sarve Tulyanama Vrita Sarve Dharmasnata Prachetasaha Dharmasnata Prachetasaha Prachina Barhishaputra Satadrutyam Dashabhavan Tulyanama Vrita Sarve Dharmasnata Prachetasaha Prachina Barhishaputra Satadrutyam Dashabhavan Tulyanama Vrita Sarve Dharmasnata Prachetasaha. Prachina Barhishaputra Satadrutyam Dashabhavan Tulyanama Vrita Sarve Dharmasnata Prachetasaha. Prachina Barhishaputra Satadrutyam Dashabhavan Tulyanama Vrita Sarve Dharmasnata Prachetasaha. Prachina Barhishaputra Satadrutyam Dashabhavan Tulyanama Vrita Sarve Dharmasnata Prachetasaha. Any Matajis? Prachina Barhishaha of King Prachina Barhi, Putraha, sons, Satadrutyam, in the womb of Satadruti, Dasha, 10, Abhavan, became manifest, Tulya, equally, Nama, name, Vrataha, vow, Sarve, all, Dharma, religiosity, Snataha, completely merged in, Prachetasaha, all of them being designated as Prachetas. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. King Prachina Barhi begot 10 children in the womb of Satadruti. All of them were equally endowed with religiosity, and all of them were known as the Prachetas. Please repeat. King Prachina Barhi begot 10 children in the womb of Satadruti. All of them were equally endowed with religiosity, and all of them were known as the Prachetas. Shri Shri Gaunithai Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Ji Ki Jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The word Dharmasnathaha is significant, for the 10 children were all merged in the practice of religion. In addition, they possessed all good qualities. One is supposed to be perfect when one is perfectly religious, perfect in the execution of one's vows to render devotional service, perfect in knowledge, perfect in good behavior, and so on. All the Prachetas were on the same level of perfection. Umajnanatiminandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya manobhishtam स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदामय्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणाम्। So this is a reference to Prachetas. Prachetas they were very great devotees of Lord Krishna. They were known for being cooperative with each other. Prachetas' cooperation was most glorified. In fact, Lord Shiva glorifies Prachetas that I am very pleased by your cooperation, and then I want to bestow all benediction unto you. So 10 of them, they were very, very religious, as it is mentioned, dharma snataha. They were very religious, they were perfect in their character, perfect in their behavior and dealings with others. All of this is only because they were devotees of Krishna. So, it is dream of any parent to have such good children. It's very rare today to have, responsible children. Because it is not the mistake of the children, it is actually a mistake of the parents. Because children have to be begotten with proper consciousness, with proper preparation, and with a clear purpose in life. Generally, these days, more or less, people are begetting children as insurance policy. When we become old, they will take care of us. At least they will take us to the hospital, or they may do some personal, service to us, render personal service to us. Because everyone is terrified about the effects of the old age and then the diseases that are going to come. And it is true that no matter how much money you give, people will not serve with heart. The only people, there is any possibility if for anyone to serve with heart is the children, because there is a bondage with body. So obviously there will be some gratefulness and they will serve. So this is the purpose most of the parents with which they beget children. And when we beget children like that, the children are not necessarily, they have to take care of the parents, because this is nothing but selfishness. If we are selfish, our products will also be selfish. As much as we think of your selfishness, your comforts, they will think of their comforts. So when they get married, when their children come, so their priorities will be their children, their wife, their husband. Why will they bother about you? You will be a disturbance for them. You means not any of us, or we are going to be like that in future. So why would they take care of us? Because we begot them with selfishness. So selfishness begets selfishness. Selflessness begets selflessness. So one has to beget children. It is one of the responsibility of the grahastha, is to beget children. It is one of the duties of the grahastha to beget children. Why do you want to beget children? Because you have received something very, very valuable from your guru and you wanted to pass it on to the next generation. And what is the most valuable thing that you have learned? Krishna consciousness. And I wanted to teach Krishna consciousness. I wanted to facilitate teaching Krishna consciousness to my children so that next generation will be saved. That should be the only purpose of begetting children. Not that, I don't have anybody at home, I want to play, so I need some living doll. Because, non-living dolls cannot reciprocate. So I want a living doll. So that's why I want to beget children. Children are very cute. Children make us laugh. Children make us, bring life to us. Otherwise, life is very boring. This is another purpose for which, people beget children. So like this, there are many non-Krishna conscious purposes with which, if we beget children, children will not turn out to be the way we want. They will turn out to be for what they have been born with. Everyone also is born with their own desires. Karanam gunasangosya sadasad yoni janmasu. Why would a particular soul come and enter into the semen of a particular person, of a particular entity? Because he has desire. He is looking for a right place where I can take shelter of. If you are a very, very, passionate person, they will look for right, passionate, people. And they will be put into the garbha, or the wombs of the similar passionate mothers. And then as a result, passionate people will be born. In fact, Arjuna's concern was this: Jayate varna sankaraha doshairaite kulagnanam varna sankara karakaihi utsadyante jati dharma kuladharmasya shashvataha. My dear Krishna, adharmo bi bhavat Krishna pradushyanti kulastriyaha strishu dushtashu varshneya jayate varna sankaraha. My dear Krishna, I am very, very concerned that unwanted children, unwanted progeny will come in this world when the elders in the society, people who direct others in dharma, if they are expired, if they are killed in the battlefield, there won't be any dharma, then there won't be any guide. And when there are no guides, then women will be polluted, and when women are polluted, they will give birth to Varna Sankaras. And once Varna Sankara comes, what happens? Varna Sankara karakahi utsadyante jati dharma kula dharmasya shashvataha. Everything will be finished. Kula dharmas, jati dharmas. It's not very difficult for us to see. The father has taken up certain religious services. If he is a trustee in a temple or something, it's not necessary when the father expires the son of the father also will take up the same service. He thinks that, it's a waste of money, a waste of time. There was a famous picture that came, which is Kantara. It was a movie dubbed in all languages. The whole movie is all about this only, Varna Sankaras. What is that Varna Sankara? Their forefathers, they gave land to the deity. But then the next generation didn't feel that, the land should be given to the deity. They wanted to somehow get the land by court case. That has happened with us in Hyderabad. It happened. We have these Badrukas who gave us 572 acres of land. But then next generation or, their relatives, because the land rates have increased, even as early as 1970s, the land rates were quite good enough. Now you can't imagine the land rates now. 572 acres in Medchal, is not an ordinary thing. So they have put up a case. Our devotees were very naive in the sense, because they have given us this land, they did not make sure the legal documents were proper. So they just believed them, and then, there was no proper documentation as such. So when they went to the court, naturally court sees the documents. So the court has declared, the lower court has declared that this document is null and void. It is not properly executed. Although we have held the possession for a long time, and we also could not hold the possession for a long time because for all of these 572 acres, because it's not easy for us to do that. So the point what I'm saying is that the elders or the previous generation, they may hold certain sentiments towards the deities, towards a certain, jati dharmas and kula dharmas, and then the descendants may not hold the same. So just imagine what would happen to these forefathers if their descendants do not continue the same works that they have taken up. A father would naturally like to see that my son would continue to serve this temple in a dharmadikari or, whatever it is, dharma rakshaka or whatever it is, in that way. But the son may not be interested. We are dealing with so many such cases. We have a temple in the old city, Kishanbagh temple. There was a temple. The temple is such a huge temple. It is Murali Manohar temple. And the forefathers have given such big, huge land in the middle of the city for the deity. But now the deity is not properly taken care. The endowments had to come and then they have to intervene. And even though the present trustees, they were very much interested to see that the deity worship goes nicely, but they don't have any. Descendants are not supporting as such, because they are busy in their money earning program in the US. They are least bothered about this. Imagine the anxiety that they will go through. We are all interested in money, but we are not bothered about the aspirations that our forefathers they have had for us. So if you cannot hold the aspirations of the forefathers, then obviously such people are called as Varna Sankaras. Because the very premise of Varna Sankara is that Kula Dharmasya, Jati Dharmasya, both of them are destroyed by the Varna Sankara. So no one would like to have such children. So here Prachina Bharishyat is very fortunate because he has 10 children, and all the 10 children are dharmasnataha, and they are very, very cooperative with each other. Even if you have good children, if they don't cooperate, if they are fighting, which father and mother will be happy? Every day there is a Kurukshetra in the house. Pandavas are most celebrated people because Pandavas were very, very united. How were they united? They were united because their leader, that is Yudhishthira Maharaj, is the most virtuous man. Just by his sign, the most unruly behavior sometimes exhibited by Bhima would be controlled. Bhima is very aggressive. Even Arjuna was aggressive, but not as much as Bhima. So, such great heroes like Bhima and Arjuna would just be put to peace as soon as Yudhishthira Maharaj signs. Now, which elder brother in the society today holds that much grace and respect? Nobody. Why? Because you are not virtuous, you are not dharmic. So obviously, I'm sure that Prachina Bharishat must be jumping in happiness, he and his wife, Satadruti, because they have got 10 sons, the Prachetas. But the point which Srila Prabhupada was making is very important. It's not that out of blue they developed all these wonderful qualities. They developed these qualities because they were devotees of Krishna. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunais tatra samasate suraha. That you will get all good qualities only when you become Bhagavati Akinchana. Bhagavati Akinchana means when you become actually an unflinching devotee of Krishna, then one can develop all good qualities. We may try to exhibit certain behavior in certain situations just to get some good marks in the society, but that is not going to last long. And that is what's said in the next verse, next 2 lines in that verse. Harava bhaktasya kuto mahatguna manorathe nasti dhavato bahihi. How long can we put up a show if we don't have that quality in our heart? If you are not an honest man, and you may try to be honest, externally try to prove many things, keep all the documents, you see, I am honest, I am honest, I am honest. But Krishna is there in everyone's heart. Krishna will not allow them to accept your so-called documentation if you are a dishonest man. So whatever, all these things, external things are not going to stay. What is going to stay is that you should appease Krishna by your devotion, and then Krishna will decorate us with all good qualities. So harava bhaktasya, if you are not a devotee of Lord Hari, kuto mahatguna, where are good qualities for such a person? There are no good qualities. Even the so-called good qualities that they may display, they are just circumstantial, they are not substantial. Many of us also exhibit sometimes good qualities. We are, this is called sage on a stage. This behavior is called sage on a stage. And a stage, you will be a sage, obviously, because then everybody is watching you. But then someone else behind the screen. So this is why it is said, Harava bhaktasya kuto mahatguna manorathe nasti dhavato bahihi. Again, this word is important, manorathe nasti, because anyone is determined to be a good person or bad person depending on his state of mind. If he has given his mind, or if he has made his mind surrendered and submissive to a higher authority, he is considered to be a good person. But if he is not given his mind to anyone, he just acting as per his demands of the mind, then he is not considered to be a pious person or a good person. He is considered to be a demon. So, whether we are submissive or not, we have to assess. If we are submissive, to whom are we submissive? To what extent are we submissive? If that a higher authority says, enough of this, please give this up. And are we ready to give up, or are we going to argue with them? There should be someone who should have full control over us, in the sense that No arguments with that person. That is a sign that you are a submissive person. No argumentation. It's not that they don't have arguments to present to you. They are well versed in the scripture. But still they may not want to present such arguments to determine your submissiveness. How much submissive you are. Why should I always give you logic and reasoning to listen to me? If you have developed certain faith, you must exercise that faith. Every time we don't have to be given logic and reasoning. Logic and reasoning. When you are children, okay, when you are growing up, you have to be given logic and reasoning. Once a certain amount of trust and faith is developed, it doesn't have to be every time. It doesn't have to be. So, Manorathena means such people will never yield to any superior authority. They will always be driven by their Manoratha, mental state. Such persons, even though they may externally exhibit good qualities, they are not considered to be good persons. So, the only way that we can actually get good behavior, everyone wants good behavior, by the way. Everyone wants to be nice. Everyone wants to be recognized as a nice person in the other's, vision. But you will get that nice behavior only when we actually become truly devoted to Krishna. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchanaha sarvair gunais tatra samasate saraha. All good qualities of the divine qualities will assemble in the heart of a devotee who is akinchana bhakta. So, these prachetas, they are such wonderful devotees, they are able to cooperate. Again, cooperation is a sign of divine quality. Quarrel is a sign of demonic qualities. And a famous example is when the Kshirosagan Madan has happened, when the nectar pot was brought out. You know for sure that the Devatas were not actually quarreling with each other. They wanted to, in a justful manner, they wanted to distribute. But when it was snatched away by the demons, the demons said, we were the ones who are getting all the heat from the Vasuki's head. So, we are the right, persons to consume this whole of nectar. So, then they snatched it away from the Devatas. And now, after snatching it away, they were quarreling amongst themselves. Obviously. So, this policy of my enemy's enemy is my friend is a very bad policy. Remember this. Never resort to such bad policy. He is my enemy's enemy, so he is my friend. So I will conspire with him to finish off my enemy. It's a very bad quality. It's not at all a divine quality. But unfortunately, that is what goes on in this world. That person may not be your friend, but he is enemy's enemy. So he happens to be your friend. Just see how many times that we resort to this kind of things. We don't recognize a person as a friend or someone based on their own qualities. It's either based on convenience or like this kind of thing, political nature. So where is the question of cooperation? The cooperation is only on a superficial level. Cooperation is like the cooperation of these 4 robbers. They were talking about cooperation. They were thugs. They robbed the bank. And then they were sitting under a tree. And they were talking amongst themselves. We all worked hard equally. We must distribute this stolen wealth equally in just manner. Very just for you. You have actually stolen that. So then, each fellow was proposing how to do that in a justful manner. So what was that? You see, we will be very tired after this. So that is why I thought about it and I brought this drink. One of them brought a drink. Another fellow brought some food. Another fellow brought something else. Like that, each 4 of them brought something for the other 3 fellows. And actually what they did was that they actually put deadly poison in that. Their idea was to feed this And then all the three fellows would be finished, and I am the only sole enjoyer of this whole stolen property. That was their idea. So they have actually fed three different items. All four of them ate three different items brought by everybody else, not their own. Obviously, they cannot eat their own item because they will be dead. So as a result, what happened? All four dead, and the stolen property was as it is. This is the cooperation amongst demons. What happened to the demons? Did they finally get the nectar pot? Nothing. They did not get anything because they were quarreling with each other. The real wealth is in cooperation. And you cannot cooperate on false principles. You can only cooperate when you are Krishna conscious, when you are a devotee of Krishna. Otherwise, it's impossible. Our cooperation should not be like that of a donkey and a camel. There is a small anecdote of a donkey and camel. What is that? There was a camel was marrying. Camel is marrying another camel. So he has called for a sangeet. It's very famous nowadays. For all marriages, sangeet is called for. Famous singers are called. There is a sangeet night before the marriage. So this camel has one very nice person to be called for sangeet. Who is that? The donkey. So donkey started the singing, glorifying the person who is going to give him money for sangeet. So he said, Aho Rupam, means what a beautiful Rupam you have, my dear camel. Because you are giving money, what should I do? I should definitely glorify you. Aho Rupam. Then the camel said, Aho Swaram. Ah, what a throat you have. You are very, very, sweet in singing. In this way, both are cooperating each other and making everyone else is frustrated with this nonsense glorification. Scratching each other's back, which is totally on a false platform. I don't think anyone appreciates the rupam of a camel. He has a big long neck, very ugly neck. And obviously you will not be able to tolerate when donkey is singing. Isn't it? So this kind of so-called cooperation is going on amongst people who are very selfish. तुम भी चुप, हम भी चुप, क्योंकि दोनों चोर हैं. This is also cooperation, but this is not going to last long. So Prachetas cooperation is not like that. Prachetas are very wonderful devotees. They have cooperated with each other for glorifying Krishna. So they have actually attracted mercy of Lord Shiva because of that. So Prabhupada wanted us to be like Prachetas. When Prabhupada made so many disciples, he wanted his followers, his disciples and grand disciples to be like Prachetas. And in fact, at one point Prabhupada said, there were at that time, the total dedicated number of disciples was about 25 or something like that. And Prabhupada's declaration was that if you keep on cooperating, within few years we'll conquer the whole world and the whole world will be Krishna conscious. This was Prabhupada's prediction. But soon it was disintegrated later on, and it was further disintegrated after Prabhupada left, and it is further disintegrated because ISKCON is not exceptional that it cannot be influenced by Kali's nature. Kali means quarrelsome nature. So we must try our best not to quarrel, but unfortunately quarrels are happening in the society. Just 3 days ago, we were hearing one case in the Supreme Court, ISKCON case. One ISKCON has put for another ISKCON. And then the case judgment the judge was speaking. Nowadays the Supreme Court judgments are live telecasted. So the judge is saying, these people are so egoistic Because of their ego, they are fighting. And we think that the one party who was egoistically behaving, we are fining 1 lakh rupees for them to behave so egoistically. This case is put off and 1 lakh rupee fine is given to the, one of the parties because it is fought on a egoistic platform. They have come up to Supreme Court to fight on an egoistic platform. And the judge said, if such cases come, the actual cases will take the back seat. The real cases where people are actually suffering, they will take the back seat. So we should not entertain such cases to come up to Supreme Court level. So let us give a penalty to these people. It's actually shame for us, honestly speaking. And the same thing happened. History is repeating, that's all. Same thing happened with Bhakti Siddhanta. He had 64 Gaudiya Mats. And everything was flourishing so wonderfully. Preaching was going on. Lord Chaitanya's mission was taken forward by Bhakti Siddhanta. People were wonderstruck. He had about 60,000 disciples, sannyasi disciples. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But then as soon as he left, it was disintegrated. People were quarreling with each other. Everybody saying, this is my mutt, nobody should come. This is my mutt, my mutt. In this way, soon the whole thing is disintegrated, and now they are reduced to some small time maintenance is what is going on. Even when they are actually discussing Krishna Katha, nobody is there. Even amongst themselves, they are not there. Out of ritual, they sit and then discuss Krishna Katha. Because there is no actual substance in that discussion of Krishna Katha when there is no cooperation. So it's very difficult to seek cooperation in a large scale. So we should not try with large scale cooperation. We should try small scale cooperation. And then such small scale cooperation should go to further level of cooperation. So this is a very big subject matter and it's easy to say, but when it actually comes to execution, it's not so easy. Because to cooperate with one another, one has to set aside one's own priorities or false ego. So Prachetas are very good examples of people who have cooperated and pleased Lord Shiva by that. And the Lord is very pleased and Lord Shiva is very pleased, and he has given so many benedictions to Prachetas, which is going to come in the next verses or next chapter. So this is all because these people were devotees of Lord Krishna. So the essential point is that all good behavior can come from us if we become a devotee of Krishna. If we keep Krishna's considerations in the forefront, keep aside our own considerations, then good behavior can come and we will be able to cooperate. We will be able to even cooperate with non-devotees. What to speak of devotees. So this is what Prabhupada wanted. Prabhupada told the Indians and Americans, you Americans, you have lost your vision, but you are very, very strong in your economy. And you Indians, you may have your vision, but you're limping because you don't have sufficient strength. So how does these two people cooperate with each other? A blind man and a lame man. The lame man should be held on the shoulder by a blind man, and the lame man should give the direction. In this way, both of them, instead of accusing each other or finding faults with each other, both of them can cooperate and then cross whatever obstacle they have, reach the destination. Similarly, none of us are perfect, so we should not try to take the absolute power. We should try to cooperate with each other, see how each other has different deficiencies are there, different empowerments are there, and both have to be considered, and then accordingly services have to be given. So in this way, we have to go on, and then we'll attract the mercy of the Lord. We'll attract the mercy of the Lord. So these are some of the points which I wanted to share. Anyone has any question or comment? Anyone? No one has any question. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for wonderful classes. So, when the terms comes cooperation in the practical level, what is the difficulties then devotee not able to cooperate? What is the main cause?
Controlling nature. Controlling nature. We want to control. For example, you are preaching to two, three devotees. And after some time, they want some space. So they feel that, give me some space, I want to go and learn this thing from another devotee. Then you will say, why you want to go to him? You are very disloyal. Huh? And that devotee, if he tries to give them a little solace, don't worry, Krishna is our only solace. This happens like that. When that person is talking to these devotees, already this some negative vibration is going on here. Why is he talking? They are my people. And my people, he is trying to disturb their minds, to take them away from me. You don't know, but you are speculating like this. Why you are speculating like that? Because you have this controlling tendency. I'm not saying about you. All of us, I'm saying. We have this controlling tendency. Just like water will find its own place, every devotee will find their own resort. They have a lot of devotees, so they will deal with each devotee and finally they will be happy and adjustable with one devotee, and we should facilitate that. We should not try to hold and control all the devotees, saying that you became a devotee only because of me. That day if I had not handed over this book, you would never become a devotee. How many days and nights I have spent with you, raising you in Krishna consciousness. Will you go away? Listen, this is a devotee property. And there is another thing called the physical property. Money, properties. I have brought the donor. You cannot talk to the donor. He is my donor. I have seen these people, people quarreling with this, Finally, the donor will be terrified with both people and run away. Better not to give to anybody. Similarly, I have brought this, whatever I say that should happen, because this property is, I have cultivated this person, made this person, give this property. So, whatever I say that should happen. Guest house should be built here. Somebody says, no, college should be built here. People are quarreling. Why we are quarreling? Because we want to, prove that we are better than others. That's why we are quarreling. That's why Lord Chaitanya told us, you place this one kantimala around your neck. What is that kantimala? Trunadapi sunichena taroriva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahariya. If your goal is to chant Hare Krishna, then you must wear this kantimala of Trunadapi sunichena. Otherwise your mind will be preoccupied with how to defeat this person, how to finish off that person. Ishwaroham, aham bogi, siddhoham, balavan, sukhi. If you don't know where these verses, you look into 16th chapter Bhagavad Gita, you will find where these verses are. This is where our mind is hovering around instead of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that is the problem. We have to become little more humble. Little more humble, little more humble. We can definitely put our, point across. We should never compromise on principles, but we don't have to be the center. We don't have to always be in the center. Somebody else be in the center, doesn't matter. Suppose 3-4 devotees are serving one particular devotee, and you may not get any service. Others are getting service. You don't have to become envious of the other devotees, because you want anyway that service to be done, and that service is accomplished by someone. Even if you don't get some part in that, you should still be happy. No, no, I only have to cook for that Prabhu. Get away. He has not touched my item at all. These things go on. How much can I say? So much of this goes on. The burning goes on. So put some extra salt in that item of that Prabhu, so that he gets the bad name. Not only he gets the bad name, the person whom you love, they get the disease by eating it, isn't it? So we have lost that common sense because of this competitive mentality, controlling mentality, competitive mentality. That's why cooperation is not there. So we have to develop cooperation more and more. Is that making sense? Any other? Okay. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.